to the Open Scoring MMA podcast. No secrets, no bias, just the real fight game. Let's get ready.
Welcome to Open Scoring MMA. This is episode 66 for August 23rd, 2026. Your daily look at what's happening now and next across the world of MMA and UFC. Well, what a weekend for fight fans with two major events delivering some absolute fireworks. We've got to start with the main event out of UFC Sacramento, where Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop, just put on a clinic, outlasting Anthony Hernandez in a brutal 5-round war.
He absolutely did. Rodrigues took home a unanimous decision, with scorecards of 49-46 and two 48-47s. It was a tough fight, but he really showed his grit and skill in there.
And that win, that's huge for him. It's his 4th straight, and it's definitely going to vault him up the middleweight rankings. We're talking legitimate contender status now at 185 pounds.
Absolutely. He's firmly in the title mix after that performance. It was a career-defining win for him.
But here's where it gets interesting, because Anthony Hernandez, despite losing that main event, isn't happy. He's calling out Rodrigues for what he claims was cheating during the fight.
He is. Hernandez told Bloody Elbow, quote, "The more I saw him slow down, I thought, okay, I'm gonna get him this round. I hit him a few times and rocked his S. He's a tough son of a B-. I hit him with the kitchen sink, hit him with some elbows, but the F was cheating and grabbing inside of my gloves." End quote.
Wow. That's a pretty strong accusation to make after a fight of the night performance. He's saying he even told Herb Dean about it.
He did. He also said, quote, "I told Herb Dean that I fight clean, man, so it's what it is. Maybe I should be more dirty. Even when I fail, I don't give up. That's just in me. I'm willing to die in there for real." End quote.
That's a lot of emotion coming out of that fight. You can tell it was a grueling one for both guys, but it doesn't sound like he's going to let that go easily.
No, it doesn't. It adds a layer of controversy to what was otherwise a fantastic fight.
And speaking of call-outs, Rodrigues himself wasn't shy after his big win. He immediately set his sights on a former champion.
He did. Rodrigues wasted no time calling out Dricus du Plessis in his post-fight interview. He told Yahoo Sports MMA, quote, "Dricus du Plessis, I think that's the fight to make. It makes a lot of sense for my next battle, so I'll talk to my managers, I'll talk to the UFC, and we'll see what's going to happen." End quote.
That's a bold move, going after a former champ right after your biggest career win. It shows he's serious about making a run for the title.
It does. And with his performance against Hernandez, he certainly made a strong case for himself to get a high-profile opponent like du Plessis.
Shifting gears a little, we also saw some big action over in the PFL this weekend, with Cris Cyborg headlining PFL Tampa. And what a fight that was against Ketlen Vieira.
It was a tough one for Cyborg. She got all she could handle from Vieira, but ultimately pulled out a unanimous decision for her 10th straight win.
And this was initially reported as her Swan song, her retirement fight. But it sounds like she's had a change of heart after that performance.
She has. After the fight, Cyborg appeared ready to continue her career. She even called out Kayla Harrison, saying, quote, "Kayla Harrison is here? Come here." End quote. And she added, quote, "8 years undefeated. I'm ready for anybody, anytime, any weight." End quote.
That's the kind of fire we love to see from a legend like Cyborg. 10 straight wins, and she's still looking for the biggest challenges out there. A fight with Kayla Harrison would be massive.
It would be a huge fight, and it shows that even after such a long and dominant career, she's still motivated to compete at the highest level.
We also had another interesting story out of UFC Sacramento, with Anthony Wint submitting Terrence Chapman. But it was Wint's post-fight comments that really got people talking.
He discussed Gable Steveson and Josh Hokett and the future of the UFC heavyweight division. It's clear he's looking to make a statement and get some big names on his radar.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to put himself in that conversation. It's always good to see fighters thinking about the bigger picture and who they want to face next.
It shows ambition, which is crucial in a division as competitive as heavyweight.
And speaking of big names, Islam Makhachev is still sitting pretty at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Unanimous #1, still.
That's right. His 17th straight win, which was against Ian Machado Gary at UFC 330, keeps him firmly atop the ESPN P4P Men's Top 10.
And that brings us to Dana White, who apparently went on another one of his long rants about Ian Machado Gary after that UFC 330 main event.
He did. Machado Gary reportedly had a chance to win the UFC welterweight title against Islam Makhachev in the UFC 330 main event, but he came up short, and it seems Dana had a lot to say about his performance.
It's clear Dana has strong opinions on Gary, and he's not afraid to voice them, especially after a high-stakes fight like that.
No, he's not. It's a recurring theme with those two.
We also need to touch on the Anthony Smith situation. He's issued his first statement since his arrest last month.
He has. Smith was charged with first-degree domestic assault and terroristic threats.
That's a tough situation, and we'll have to wait to hear his side of things. It's a serious charge, and it's definitely cast a shadow over his career.
It has. It's a developing story that we'll continue to follow closely.
And in a bit of a different kind of fight news, Jordan Burroughs, the wrestling legend, made his return to the mat after a 2-year layoff.
He did at RAF 12, and he absolutely dominated UFC welterweight contender Sean Brady, winning an 11-0 shutout victory.
An 11-0 shutout. That's just incredible. It shows the difference between elite-level wrestling and even a high-level MMA grappler. Burroughs just slammed Brady and stayed on the attack.
It was almost a mismatch given Burroughs' wrestling pedigree. He didn't take it easy on Brady at all.
All right, let's look ahead to what's coming up this week.
That's right.
And then just a few days later, on August the 29th, we've got UFC Fight Night, Nurmagomedov versus Song.
That card reportedly features Song Yadong against Umar Nurmagomedov in the main event.
Then we roll into September with another Contender Series, Season 10, Week 4, on September the 1st.
Word is that Adam Darby and Brandon Holmes are predicted to compete on a Contender Series card, but we'll wait and see if it's this specific week.
And then on September the 5th, we've got UFC Fight Night, Hooker versus Parnasse.
Dan Hooker is reportedly being considered for the headlining spot for that event.
And then, the big one, Noche UFC, Rodrigues versus Silva on September the 12th.
That's a stacked card. We're hearing some big names are being targeted for that event, but nothing official yet on the main and co-main matchups.
That's a lot of action coming up. But before we get there, let's talk about our OSM pick for Noche UFC.
Our model has Gene Silva to win with about a 79% chance.
79%. That's a pretty strong lean.
It is. The betting line implies around 75%, so we're a bit higher than the market on Silva.
Okay, so what's driving that confidence? What are the top reasons?
The model is really liking what it's seeing from Silva in terms of his overall performance lately.
So the model's really liking what it's seeing from Silva in terms of his ability to finish fights and his overall performance lately.
Exactly. He's been looking incredibly sharp.
All right, let's talk about something else that's been buzzing. The MMA community on Reddit is having a field day with some of the recent fighter call-outs.
They are. There's a lot of discussion about who's calling out who and whether those fights actually make sense for the divisions.
It's always interesting to see the fan reaction to these things. Sometimes they're spot on, and other times, well, they're just having fun with it.
It's a mix, but the engagement is always high, especially when a fighter makes a bold statement or a surprising call-out.
Yeah, it adds to the drama, doesn't it? Everyone loves a good beef.
They do. And it keeps the conversation going between fight cards.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thanks for tuning in to Open Scoring MMA. Before you go, 2 quick things. Check out our free fight tracker at tracker.openscoringmma.com with every upcoming UFC and PFL card, live odds, and where to watch all in one place. And follow us on YouTube. Just search Open Scoring MMA for breaking news alerts, fight breakdowns, and videos you won't get here on the feed. That's it for today's Open Scoring MMA. Keep your hands up, and we'll see you next time.